everyone, and thanks for listening in to the second episode of Checking In on Your Daily Walk. In this show, I plan to chat to members of the church and see how they're doing. We will be hearing personal testimonies of how God has affected our lives and get to know each other a little better. Today, I'll be checking in on someone who had to share a bunk bed with me for 3 weeks. It's Julie Adejumo. Hi, Julie.
Hello.
Thought I'd just do a little throwback there to the Philippines. But how have you been coping during the lockdown?
Yeah, it's been great actually. Been a bit busy at work as well, so I'm still going to work, obviously key worker. We still have to let some people get back home at the airport.
Oh gosh, so is it quite panicked there in that environment then?
It's how you make it really. I've found it, peaceful for me, to be honest with you. It's been quite nice and chilling, and just take one day, at a time.
Mm. And has God been speaking to you much during this time?
Oh yes, he has, and even before this time, it's really prepared me, which I didn't even realize until everything sort of kicked off.
Like how so?
Things that I didn't think that it's a God's plan for when the coronavirus comes in and all the things that is happening. It's making me think back like, wow, how great is he? He's been planning me for this, in so many ways that more than just like my normal daily life.
So have you done anything different then in regards to your relationship with God?
I have been, though I've been going to work, but because of the fear all around me and what everyone wants to talk about is the fear and stuff like that, I've, from the second week of this thing, I've stopped listening to the news. Sorry, I'm sorry if I'm a bit backward or something, but stopped listening to the news and I've been reading more on God's words and stuff.
Yeah, anything particular jumping out at you or?
Yeah, for years, I believe my purpose at work is to serve people, which, God has really helped me over the years where I work, because I do get a chance to sort of serve people there and speak to people about God and witnessing in my own little ways. But this time he's done it big that I've been able to do groups.
Oh, yeah?
And he actually prepared me for this, like I said earlier, because God spoke to me around just after Christmas about setting up a group at work, a Christian group at work, people that we could pray together and stuff like that. But I didn't know it was God. I didn't know it was in preparation for something. I spoke to my group, small group at the time, hoping to hear a word or two from people, but because nobody said anything or know what came out at the time, I just sort of just let it sleep. I'm like, oh, maybe not. But yeah, but God has really proved himself powerful in this time.
No, it is amazing, isn't it? How, looking back, when God tells you to do something and you're like, really now? So he told me to give something up recently and I was struggling with it, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I'll do it, I'll follow your will, but I was really worried. So he told me recently, for those that don't know, so God's told me recently to put the youth work to one side. And he gave me this picture of plates spinning and the youth was on one of these plates, and he put it, I saw the plate slow down, stop spinning, the plate being put on the shelf, and another plate being handed to me. And I was and I couldn't read what the plate was saying. And over the past few weeks, God has been saying to me, the plate's been saying testimony. And it's I was reluctant to give up the youth because I've loved working with the young people in our church and in the community. They are such amazing people. And thankfully, due to this lockdown, I technically haven't missed any Friday night sessions. So, and God's just been talking to me about testimony and how powerful testimonies can be, and picking that up and doing something like this. And it is amazing how he gave me this all before the coronavirus really kicked in the country. I've been praying about it for weeks with a couple of guys in the church and with the other youth leaders. And it's amazing that, as you say, he has just prepared you for it, and there's this stuff going on and you're like, really, now you want me to do this, you want me to do this now? And then it all just kind of click into place in his grand plan.
I spoke to a lady, a Christian friend at work, that we mostly all like sort of like share our testimonies and pray together sometimes, and it was just the two of us at the time. And then we became 3 and 4 and 5. We became 6 and 7. And it was just great. It's been really great, and we've had a chance of like trying to, because I've been in charge of engagement at work. So God just gave me that opportunity to use to actually, like just gather people together and just talk about Jesus, like, like really nice and openly, one passion I like, and I'll be able to use it at work. Really lovely.
Oh, that's brilliant. So there's like 8 of you who meet now. Like, is it weekly or daily or?
Whenever we get chance. At the moment, it's only just me left there because they've all been followed. So
oh gosh,
the other ladies are unfollowed. The one that is to remain there that is not unfollowed, she's a new Christian. She's one that actually wanting, since we started this thing, that actually joined us, want to know more about Christ.
Oh, that is so cool. It's amazing that the one person who's left in the group and chatting with you is the one person who's like the newest.
Yes.
And probably needs to hear it the most maybe at this time.
Yeah. It was actually funny the way she actually joined us, because she just heard me talking to the other lady, and she just like standing next to me, because the other lady, obviously they work together, and been chatting to her about Christ. And she just heard our conversation. She's like, oh my God, Julie. She went, oh, you were so passionate about God. And I went, yeah, when you get to know him, it does makes you feel like that. And I went, oh, would you like to join our prayer group then? And she went, oh, yeah, please. And I said to her, do you have a Bible? And that same day, I opened for her the YouVersion Bible. And I taught her how to actually look up in the Bible and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been great.
Can I hear you? Can you hear me now, Julie?
I can, yeah. Did you hear everything I said earlier?
I did hear everything you said. So you were talking about how you guys had started a group at the airport, and how the woman had overheard you speaking with another woman who she worked with, and that's how she came to know Christ through you guys. Yeah. Which I think is just incredible, the impact that you can have on your workplace.
Yeah.
And you're a true joy.
That's lovely, thank you.
Well, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't complimenting you, Julie, really. Oh, I've missed that laugh, genuinely.
Can't help it.
No.
The real joy of knowing Christ, Charlie.
It is a real joy knowing Christ, isn't it? So what's been like your most joyous moment in your relationship with God?
The most joyous is the fact that the boys are home with me.
Yeah. And
we've been having we've been able to like sort of do more family prayers. Because normally one of our logo is a family that prays together, stick together.
Yeah.
And we've been having much more time in chatting together, and just like getting them to pray with me, and we're just like a normal, proper, Christian family at the moment. I'm really enjoying that.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm glad that there is like some good that you found within this, that you can just get together as a family and just chat with God.
Yeah. And also at work, actually at work, when the other girls went on follow, it was a bit discouraged a little bit. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? Because obviously, because of my position, I didn't want anyone to think I'm abusing my position in getting them together, obviously, because I've been the one having to do engagement with them. So what I've been doing, I've been able to use my position to get them together and get the other lady to speak. If you know what I mean.
Oh.
And then when she went, I'm like, oh. And you know what God did?
What?
God actually gave a word through Pandora. Honestly, and that is from Jeremiah 1, verse 6 to 8. And if you don't mind me looking it up now, and it says, oh, sovereign Lord, I said, I can't speak for you. I am too young. The Lord replied, don't say I'm too young for you. Don't say I'm too young, for you must go everywhere I send you and say whatever I tell you. And don't be afraid of the people, for I will be with you and I will protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken.
I love it.
And she just sent that, and she's like, oh, I'm not sure if God is telling me this. And I'm like, wow, God actually told you that? Because she didn't know about my being afraid of not talking after my friends went.
Yeah.
And I just prayed over it because I knew God spoke to me through that. And I just couldn't stop praying that evening. And I went to bed and I went to work the following morning. And guess what? One of the other guys that made a session, he came to me and said, oh, Julie, I heard you've been doing like prayer session. And he's not even a Christian. And he went, yeah. He went, oh, can you do it with my team today? I went, oh, yes. And guess what? I was able to do 2 sessions that day, of a 6 people session and an 8 people session. Session. And only one person walked out.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And these people aren't Christians?
None of them. There was a 2 Catholic.
Yeah.
Which they were really, really quiet, but everybody else and I had 2 men just asking me questions, which I really loved because the Holy Spirit actually intervened and answering the questions. So really loved it.
Oh, that's so cool.
I came home from work that day thinking, actually, that's the only reason I went to work today.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
Oh, and it's so great. And you knew it was the Holy Spirit who intervened with the questions?
Definitely. Because obviously I didn't prepare myself.
No. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, yeah. See, and this is why I love testimonies. They're just so amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, bless you, Julie.
Thank you. Bless you too.
It's quite funny that you were talking about being afraid and stuff, or having that fear, because my Bible verse for today was Psalm 27 verse 1, which is the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear?
Yeah.
And the Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid?
Yeah.
And it is kind of amazing how you've been able to, although having these fears and these doubts over everything that's going on, you've still been able to go into work as a key worker, let people get back home safely, and also run these sessions where you're just praying for people and talking to people and chatting with people and being able to intervene without that fear. That is just absolutely incredible.
Amazing. Because my fear used to be people could accuse me of misusing my position at work. Yeah. But that didn't even matter. And even today, someone did ask me, oh, are you going to do that prayer again today? But they gave me too much to do today that I couldn't do one.
But maybe tomorrow, unless you're not working.
I'm not working tomorrow, next time. But then now I know that I'm free to speak up. I speak up about Christ a lot, especially with the uncertainty that is going and a lot of fear now I'm at work because people are losing their jobs and stuff. Yeah. And they look at me like, why are you so calm?
It's like, I've got God on my side.
And I don't know. I was like, I'm just trusting God. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's such an amazing testimony. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Julie.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Yeah, is that it?
That is it. Tune in next time when we'll see who I'm checking in on next.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.